This is probably one of my favorite builds that I've made so far this year. I know I say it all the time, but trust me, this little Demigod sharp point guard is absolutely crazy. It's like the play shot archetype on steroids. Definitely let me know what you think about the video down in the comment section, man. Let's get this video to 100 likes. But all right, let's get right into the video. Now, getting to the rim on this build is extremely easy, so you want to make sure you have a decent amount of finishing. If your dude is behind you and he doesn't have a crazy amount of block, you'll probably be good on this build. So on the build, we will be going with a 73 close shot, a 93 driving layup. Yes, you heard me right, 93. That does get you some beautiful badges. And truthfully, on this build, you don't want to do a high dunk. You really don't get much from it. You're still 5'9". You will get blocked a lot, but I went with a 55. So when the thing's open and it's there, I can use the best dunk style in this game, if you ask me, which is Klay Thompson. I really like it. Definitely let me know what y'all think about it down in the comment section, man. Let me know if y'all are using Klay Thompson's dunk package. For my low dunkers and even the high dunkers, I'm telling you, this dunk package is fire. Now, when it comes to the shooting on this build, obviously you can't be 5'9" and not have a ton of three. So of course I went kind of crazy with the 3-ball, but you can see from these clips, I'm not scared to pull it, dog. This build is all about confidence. Shooting in those tight windows is definitely something you're just gonna have to get used to on a build like this because it's small, but you are quick. So you can get away from your defender pretty easily by just dribbling, and definitely make sure you have a good fade on. Probably one of my most favorite thing to do in the game is just get open off a screen or something and shoot a fade. Fades are super OP. They're good from 3, midi for sure, and they pretty much drop almost every time. Even that one right there that was kind of contested, man's right there, I'm shooting right over him. Light pressure, that's green. Like, the fades are super easy to do, and if you can actually get shifty shooter high, like if you made a build like this, if you can get shifty shooter high, it's pretty much always going to be good. Like, if you can get it up to, let's say, Hall of Fame or Legend, I would think that's where it operates best at. You'll probably be able to shoot pretty well off the fades, especially in the corner. The corner 3 is probably one of the easiest. I would say the ones up top are probably a little bit harder, but they're still greenable. Pretty much every time you take a fade, you'll at least have a really good chance of making it. Now, for the actual shooting here, the attributes are on right here. So I did go with a 94 for the 3-point shot. That's because I did hit Superstar 3. So I'll show y'all where I put my cap breakers and all that. Free throw, go ahead and max that thing out, man. Get all the points you can. Definitely be stacking on those transition files, those tech files. You'll get at least, I would say, between 3 and 5 points a game off of free throws. And of course, it's time to do the midi. Take that midi and put it up to an 85, man. Trust me, you want your midi to be decent because the 3's not always going to be there. There's probably going to be a big in the paint, but the midi is an area that's always wide open. I highly suggest putting one on your build, and for this one, I went with an 85. Now, when it comes to the playmaking, we actually went really high on everything in the playmaking category. So for the pass accuracy, I went with a 92, and that's for multiple different reasons. So you see at 92, we do get Dimer on Hall of Fame. I feel like that's probably one of the better badges, especially if you have teammates that are struggling to shoot. Go ahead and help them out. Put that pass accuracy on a 92, and of course, on a build this small, you have to be able to handle the ball. So I went with a 94 to make sure I can handle the ball very well, and it gets you a few different badges that you really need, man. And even with the speed ball, I went with a 94 as well. That does get you that lightning launch on Legend. I feel like you can definitely feel it on a build like this. Being this short, you have to be able to zip around the court. It just makes your player so much faster, man. I'm not even a dribble guy, but I will tell you, one little hezzy, one little momentum cross behind the back, literally anything you do, you will feel that speed with ball change, man. I definitely feel like this is something that you should be taking a look at if you plan on making a 5'9". Don't make a 5'9" with 86 speed with ball or even 91 speed with ball. You have to go 94 on a build like this, and some of the best ball handle animations are higher than 92, 93. And a lot of y'all are gonna think I'm tripping about the defense, but on this build, just trust me, the defense is not that important. You were there to get a bucket and to get some steals, man. Outside of that, I really wouldn't suggest putting anything too high on your perimeter. I did go with a 71. I think that was the lowest I could go on this build and still get a bronze challenger. In all honesty, you won't get a lot of challenges, man. Just being 5'9", you really can't challenge anybody else that's not 5'9". I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you. You're not gonna get a good challenge. I wouldn't even tell you to waste your time like that. But with the steal, I did go with a 94 to get Hall of Fame interceptor. That's where your bread and butter lies, dog. In interceptions, that is probably the best thing you can do. And I know they recently patched the passing lanes, but they still work pretty well. If you time it well and you're running in that direction to grab the ball, you're more than likely going to be okay getting the steal there. But I will tell you right now, people are going to shoot right over you. I wouldn't even suggest putting this build in the corner. I would say maybe try to be at the top and try to catch someone at the beginning of a dribble move. Get that steal, because listen, that is your entire defensive game plan on a build like this is steals. I know that's not like really crazy defense, but at the most, what you're gonna get is a light contest on a 5'9" build. And I've tried it with more defense. I have other people that made 5'9" builds, and just trust me, even with like high 90s on your perimeter defense, it does not make a difference. You are not getting challenges. You have to get steals on this build. And then finishing up the build, man, we're getting down to the physicals. I'm gonna leave speed right where it is at that 89. We're gonna put the agility up to an 86. Like I said, that's more just for you to be able to do, you know, what you want to do on the build. And then we're gonna put some strength on the build. We're gonna max that thing out at 56 just to give you something so you can fight. You know, don't get bullied out there on the perimeter, but more often than not, you're just gonna want to run around people, run away from people. You're 5'9". They're not gonna really steal the ball from you like that unless you mess up dribbling, and you're faster than everybody. So just run around people. Man, it's pretty simple. I mean, with that super high layup that we do have, I mean, I showed you a few clips of me actually making a layup myself. You gonna be all right, man. So, all right, this build comes out as shades of Tim Hardaway, Mike Conley, and Fred VanVleet, man. This build is honestly pretty fun to play on. I've been having a lot of fun on the build myself. Comes out as offense heavy point. I mean, it's really, that's exactly what it is, man. It's super offensive heavy. You can actually get dunks. You can lay the ball up over people if you master the floater after they fix it, because now the floaters are a lot better than they were. If you master the floaters, you really won't even have to worry about that big man being down there, because unless he's a demigod, like one of those SWAT king builds or something like that, in all honesty, they're not going to get to the floater as long as you do it far enough outside of the paint. But I'm gonna show y'all what I have on it, because I actually did get my cap breaker since making this build. So I'm gonna show y'all what I did with this build and some of the animations that I use on this point guard. So obviously, once you get your cap breakers, you do what makes the most sense for you. But for me, I wanted that 99 3 ball. I feel like it makes the build so much better. I got that 99 3 ball, and of course, with that, I did get all of the shooting badges on not Hall of Fame, but Legend. I got all of the shooting badges on Legend. I do think they're worth it, but that's up to you on whether or not you want to actually put that into your build. But I will say the limitless range is still a little tough, but this shifty shooter on Legend is probably one of the best badges in this game by far. I use it on a couple of different builds that I do have. The shifty shooter badge is absolutely crazy. Like, you can see my badge DNA like that. Look at that. 3-point mid-range is going crazy. Dribbling is pretty good as well, and passing, I will say, ever since they nerfed passing lanes, honestly, you probably don't need that much pass accuracy, but I just like to have it because I'm a real point guard type. I like to just throw that thing around the court, man. Pause if I needed that. But yeah, I like to pass the ball a lot and get my teammates involved. And on a build like this, they pretty much are going to have to collapse, or they're going to give up a fading three, fading midi. And people, especially in like rec, they get tired of that. They get tired of that real quick. So like when I take this build into starting five or anything like that, I really shoot a lot of fades and just get open, because unless it's another 5'9", they're not gonna be fast enough to guard this build. But that's it for this video, man. Definitely let me know down in the comment section. How do y'all feel about this most recent patch, man? I think I'm gonna drop a video kind of talking about how I feel about the game after having played as much as I've played, because I've gotten a lot of games in, a lot of different stuff in at this point. I got some pretty strong opinions on some things, but just let me know if y'all want that build, if not the build, but if y'all want that video down in the comment section, man. I will definitely catch y'all boys in the next one. It's your boy Don, and I'm up out of here. But before you get up out of here, man, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm dropping bangers for all of 2K25. I know it's been a little bit since I dropped the video. I'm gonna get back on it, man. I'm also gonna try to stream a little bit, actually interact with some of my subs, man. Definitely pop in if you catch the stream up. But I'll catch y'all boys in the next one. It's your boy Don, and I'm up out of here. Peace.